Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ruby, this is Ruby Red, and today we're going to talk about books. So today we're doing a tag video, the TBR tag, maybe you could tell from the title. I saw Heather from Bookables do this last month and it seemed fun. I wanted to do it, and that's really all there is to it. Heather posts a lot of different content, book recommendation videos, as well as reviews, and she reads a lot of different stuff, and she has really great energy. She's very like tell it how it is kind of thing, which is very valuable in a book review, in my opinion. So I will leave her video, her channel, everything linked down below, and definitely check that out. In my August TikTok TBR video, I did reveal my TBR shelf. So here it is again. There's a couple of books not on the shelf that are next to my bed because I'm reading them right now, or I'm about to. But for the most part, these are the books. And some of these questions I think will be about books that you own, but some of them might be about just like books that are on your list to read, your TBR list, which for me is also my Goodreads want to read list, which I think has about 250 books on it right now. So there's gonna be, I don't know, I might be talking back and forth on some of these is all I'm getting at. Anyway, let's just do the tag. First question, how do you keep track of your TBR pile? I put them on this shelf. Any books that I acquire that I want to read, I put on this shelf. That's basically it. So it looks pretty neat right now, but sometimes there's like stuff up here. Or sometimes things go right to my bedside table if I need to read them right away for a book club or something. But yeah, that's how I keep track. And then I also, as I said, have my Goodreads want to read list, which I'm trying. I have this goal to get it down to 150 books by the end of 2021. And I think it was almost 300 when I made that goal, so I wanted to cut it in half. And I guess I have been really paring it down. I just haven't been adding to it as willy-nilly. And I have gone through it a couple of times to be like, okay, do you actually want to read this? So making some progress towards that goal, but I don't think that I will make it at all. That's how I keep track of my TBR. Is your TBR mostly print or ebook? Mine is almost entirely print. I think I have 2 ebooks that I haven't read yet. I don't really buy ebooks. I use my Kindle only for getting books from the library almost all the time. So yeah, print. Question 3, how do you decide which book to read next? This is a combination of intuition, vibes, and like feel. So if I have just read a book that is heavy, or if I'm currently reading, you know, a nonfiction book or just kind of a dark book, then I'll pick up something lighter. But if I'm reading a hardback, I probably am not going to pick up another hardcover. I don't like to mix like weights. Like if I'm holding a huge book, I don't want to also be reading another huge book. Like I'll pick something smaller. So yeah, the shape of the book physically does matter for me, and I am usually reading a few at a time. So there's a balance that needs to be struck. As far as like ebook, like if I'm looking for something from the library on Libby, I will. I have a list. I have a tagged list on Libby of a lot of the books that are on my Goodreads TBR, so I'll scroll through that to see what's available immediately and hopefully pick one of those. But yeah, I'm just waiting for something that will like have the right tone. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into picking my next read. And sometimes it's spur of the moment. Sometimes I will spend a couple of days like looking for the right audiobook. Okay, next. Okay, 4, a book that has been on my TBR the longest. So the book that I have had a copy of and not read for the longest, I think it's one of these. either A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn or The Terror Dream by Susan Faludi. These are two nonfiction books. I think that I bought both of these books in 2015, maybe 2016. This, I read the first half of it for a class, Gender in a Global Perspective. And then I didn't read the second half. We didn't have to read it for class, but I knew I wanted to read it eventually. But at this point, I will have to read the first half again to read the second half. And I just want to, but I also don't want to because it's upsetting. Myth and Misogyny in an Insecure America. That's about right. 9/11 and like the end of feminism, basically. Really, really interesting read. And then The People's History of the United States. This is sort of just a revisiting of America's main like developmental milestones and what we think we know about them, how we think about them, versus how the like losing side thought about them, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, both of those books I've had for years and years. They're both dense emotionally and physically, so that's why I haven't read them yet, but someday I will. I think they actually might both be on my 30 by 30 list, which is a list that I have on Goodreads of 29, I think, right now. I never figured out the 30 books that were going to be on the list, but 30 books that I want to read before I turn 30. Anyway, let's move on. Question 5. What books are most recently added to your TBR? Oh, these two Robin Hobb books. I am right now, I've just started the third book in the Farseer trilogy, which is the first series in this realm of the Elderlings, as I understand it. A world created by Robin Hobb, and after that book, I will be ready to move on to the next trilogy in the world, which is The Live Ship Traders. As far as I know, the order that it seems like it's recommended that you read these books first is the Farseer trilogy, then the Live Ship Traders trilogy, and then, what is it? The Tawny Man is next. So these are the first books in the next two trilogies. I guess they're like this, that I want to read, and they were at Goodwill for 99 cents each, so I got them because, I don't know, I had a really long hold when I wanted to read The Assassin's Apprentice, which was the first book in her series. I feel like they're very popular right now, like maybe they're having like a moment, but it just seems like everyone is reading, everyone. A lot of booktubers that I watch seem to be doing various read-alongs for all of these Robin Hobb series, and I do really like her writing style, her character like development. Her characters are like flawed and chaotic, and they do horrible things. So yeah, I can't wait to read these. And yes, it is silly of me to have bought especially this one because it's gonna take me a while to get there, but whatever. I did it. Okay, I did it. Let me put these back too. These are not really in any order, by the way. 6. A book strictly added because of a beautiful cover. Now, oh, I found one. Things in Jars. I found this in a free little library. No, I didn't get it from Book of the Month. And I had remembered seeing it, but I took it out of the library because I was like, it's so beautiful. I do love it quite a lot. Very underwatery. There's little snails and little coral. There's a mermaid going around it. So yeah, beautiful cover. But I also took it because I knew that it was on my Goodreads want to read list. And why was it on there? Who could say, but I got her. Okay. 7, a book on your TBR pile that you never plan on reading. Nothing. I don't have any books that I never plan on reading. Like on this shelf, maybe there are some of Connor's books on the shelf that I will never read. I won't. But I plan on reading all of these, and if I decide that I'm actually probably never gonna read them, I will get rid of them. So yeah, the only books that I have laying around are books that I plan on reading. I mean, and I get why you might have some books that you don't plan on reading, you know, like beautiful editions, or like, you know, those compendiums, like classics, various versions of classics. 8, an unpublished book on your TBR that you're excited for. So I don't have any like arcs or anything. Definitely not here, but on my Goodreads TBR, I know I have All's Well by Mona Awad on there, and that I don't think has been published yet. I can't wait to read that. She's the author of Bunny, which I loved last year. And I think that this somehow is a little bit about Shakespeare, so I'm really excited for that. I can't wait. Number 9, a book on your TBR that everyone's read but you. Well, I do feel like very many people have read the Robin Hobb books in general, but A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, this is a book that I feel like everyone has read, at least on the booktube community, and I can't wait to read it someday when I absolutely just want to be emotionally destroyed. Oh, also No Exit by Taylor Adams. I just feel like that was very popular for a while there and everyone was reading it, and I never read it, but I hope to read it. I want to read it, that's why it's here. A book on your TBR everyone recommends to you. Like, do people recommend books to me? They do, and I add them to my Goodreads list. Basically, anytime anyone even talks about a book in my general vicinity, I put it on there. But I mean, Pilgrim at Tinker Creek is a book that my friend Sophia recommended to me. She read it for, I think she read it for a class she was taking, and she said that I would love it, and I'm sure she's right. I bet I will love it, and I can't wait to read it. Sorry I haven't read it yet, Sophia. My mom really loved this, Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer. I've read another book by him, Eating Animals, which is a nonfiction book, but this is fiction. And I remember my mom telling me about it when she was reading it, and I was like, yeah, that does sound good, but I never read it. And then I found this in a little library, so hopefully I'll read it. But those are like small instances. It's not like there's a book that like a lot of people have told me I will love, that I can think of anyway. Let me put these back. Where did this come from? Here. Oh, it came from, well, who cares? Blue. Okay. A book on your TBR. Oh, we did that already. Okay. A book on your TBR that you're dying to read. Okay, so Pilgrim at Tinker Creek is a book on there that I'm dying to read. Free Food for Millionaires by, I'll just take it out, Min Jin Lee. This is another book I'm dying to read. Pachinko was one of my favorite books last year, and so I really want to read this. What else? I mean, No Exit, honestly, I am dying to read that. And I feel like it'll be a very quick read. Like, it'll probably only take me 2 days, so I should just do it. That's it for that. And the last question, how many books are on your TBR shelf? So again, my Goodreads want to read, I think, is 250 right now. Let's see how many I have here. 28. Because there's 24 here, and then there's 4 books in my bedroom. One of them I'm almost done with though. So that's it. That's my TBR tag. That's a bunch of details about my reading and the books that I own and haven't read. Hopefully this will like put some pressure on me to read some of these, but not too much pressure. I think the problem is that it's so easy to get just so many books from the library, like, that I tend to go for those instead of really like working my way through these. Another problem is that there are, well, there's a couple of kind of heavier, harder to read books that I have on this shelf here, and those are books that I generally prefer to own, books that I know that are going to be like emotional and challenging to get through and make me think a lot. Generally I want to have those books. So there's a couple of those here that I will get to at some point, hopefully, you know, as soon as possible, like not really, but soon. But yeah, I think I just don't end up putting that many like lighthearted, fun reads on this shelf. So it doesn't tend to, I don't know, move me to grab things off of it all that often, but I'm working on that this month. Hopefully most of my books are gonna come from this shelf. I mean, a bunch of them already are, so that's good. Anyway, I would love to know more about basically everyone's TBR. I'm not that interested in bookshelf tours, but I would love to see more people do this tag because I think it's very fun. And yeah, I think there's some telling questions here. So let me know if you do decide to do this tag or if you've done it already in the comments. I would love to watch it. And let me know if you saw anything here that you think I should get off of my TBR shelf immediately and not read, or if there's anything that I should read as soon as possible. Literally, as soon as possible. And that's about it. So thank you for stopping by and hanging out. I hope you had a good time. I hope I'll see you again here soon. Okay, see you later.